Miyagawa Daisuke travels the world competing in various competitions, ranging from eating competitions, sports, and well, things that would just have to fall into their own category. He's a popular TV personality and actor. He lives a life of abundance, but like with every successful person, he's faced hardship. Hi, I'm George of Japan, and I like to bring you information that's not readily available in English. Today, let's take a look at what drove the festival man to success. Miyagawa Daisuke was born in Kyoto in 1972. His father inherited a small knick-knack shop, which wasn't doing too well, so he turned it into a cafe, which also didn't do too well, before his father started his own, small personal taxi service. Daisuke lived a pretty middle-class life with his sister. But Daisuke had big dreams, and in high school he decided he would not enter university and would try to become an actor. It's just he didn't know how. Luckily, one of his father's friends worked in TV, and that friend told Daisuke about Yoshimoto's NSC. Daisuke asked, well, do they have an acting course? Maybe? I don't know. After enrolling in NSC, Daisuke discovered all of his classmates wanted to be comedians. He was in the wrong place. But he made the best of his situation and formed a comedy duo, Chupa Chups. This was back in the 1990s, a time when the big comedians were really big. And for Yoshimoto, of course, their champions were Downtown. And Downtown's popularity would cast a shadow over all new comedians. In an effort to help new comedians gain popularity, Yoshimoto created this comedy dance troupe, Tennen Sozai. They figured by binding a bunch of their new talents together, it would increase their odds of gaining popularity. Which it did. Daisuke wasn't making the big bucks, but it was stable at the time. During the early 90s, Daisuke frequented a club, which his future wife worked at. Since money was tight, in 1997, Daisuke asked that lady, Mako, to just live together. I mean, I spend 60,000 yen on rent, you spend about 60,000 yen on rent. It's just cheaper if we live together. He wanted to live together for economic reasons, and his father strongly opposed this. What kind of man are you? You want to live together with this lady just because you're broke? Man up, what, do you really love her? If you really love her, you'd marry her. To which Daisuke said, you're right. And he married Mako that year in 1997. But they didn't have enough money to have a ceremony, so it was just legal paperwork. Anyway, they started living together and they were really happy. But Daisuke's life was about to change. Tennen Sozai was gaining a lot of popularity, and the more popular comedians were already moving on, doing bigger and better things. Chupa Chups, on the other hand, were just riding on their coattails. And in 1999, Tennen Sozai finally disbanded. And with that, Daisuke lost all of his TV appearances. Tensions between him and his partner in comedy also became toxic, and they would also disband that year. Daisuke was now at a point where he had zero income, and now that he was flying solo, Yoshimoto was rather hesitant to give him work. He started working part-time jobs. Mako started working full-time, just to survive. Yoshimoto couldn't find him work for 2 years. In 2001, Yoshimoto asked him to do live shows at their theater. One might say that this is kind of a step down from TV appearances, but I guess in many ways it is. But Daisuke kept a positive attitude towards it, and he put in all his effort into giving the best live shows he could. He told funny anecdotes, which started getting Yoshimoto's attention. And in 2004, they'd asked him to appear on Matsumoto's Suberanai Hanashi. This is a very popular show. Directly translated, that title is Stories That Don't Fall Flat. It's comedians coming together, telling the funniest and craziest stories that they've experienced. This was Daisuke's chance to come back. This was Daisuke's chance to give Mako the life he wanted. And all that pressure was on him. This is it. This is the moment. This could be the life-changing moment. Either I'm gonna rise up and become a star, or I'm gonna fall even further. And that was overwhelming to him. The night before the taping, he couldn't sleep a wink. As Daisuke was about to leave, his wife, Mako, came out in nothing but a pair of shorts and started shouting, "Fide! Fide! You can do it, Daisuke! You can do it! You're funny! You can do it!" Seeing this image of his wife, Daisuke couldn't help but laugh, and suddenly his nervousness was gone. He'd go on to tell some awesome stories on that show. They were so awesome that he would be asked to come back several times, and he would be awarded for some of the best storytelling. This would open many doors for Daisuke. The most important one, I'd say, is his regular spot on Itakyu, where he became the festival man, the man who travels around the world in search for the most exciting festival. After his appearances on Itakyu, he'd finally get to star in lead roles in dramas. And in 2010, Daisuke finally gave Mako the wedding ceremony he wished he could have gave her 13 years ago. It was a huge ceremony in Hawaii. Glorious. Later that year, their first son was born. Daisuke's 46 now, but you can still find him on Itakyu competing with people less than half his age in events and sports he has no experience in, but he just does his best. Anyway, I really enjoyed looking up information about Daisuke. Relationships in showbiz can get pretty dark, with affairs and cheating, but Daisuke's devotion and wanting to provide a better life for his wife, and his never give up attitude as the festival man, is truly inspiring. And it's for those reasons I think Daisuke is a total badass.